So yeah, there you go. So look, this is going to be mute. It's going to go, you know, it'll be fine in a couple of weeks. It'll be fixed, but it just shouldn't be released like that. I mean, it's not a me problem, is it? It's not a you problem either. It's a their problem. Really? $70? Come on, but it's all down to this amazingly model, study level 3D cockpit that allows you to really fly the 737 in your own home.
Nevertheless, grave danger, I fear, is training.
it. I took this during Discord, and I'll have this odd random stream during the week, and I'll see you then, folks.
Yeah, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
And you will certainly miss it, but it's very special goodbye there, folks. See what happens. See, it's climbing all over the place. Some of them crashing it. Right, those buttons. It's time for us to sign off. I think she wants to treat. Do you want to treat little buttons? Do you want to treat? Okay, just look at me until I actually get off the stage. Excellent, folks. Pleasure as always. See you soon. See you next time.
Greetings, everybody. I cut the end of that intro a bit short, didn't I? Greetings, everybody. We're in Nice. I can hear jets and stuff happening. I can hear jets coming into land. What is that? I hear some. There it is. There it is. Yeah, we're in Nice and we're going to Stuttgart. We are going to Stuttgart from Nice. It's nice and sunny here. We are flying real world weather, real world time, and we're going from cold and dark, including flight planning, which won't take too long now, thankfully. And yeah, it's going to be about an hour and a bit stream. Those of you watching the recording, don't worry, you can fast forward to the interesting bits. So yeah, Nice to Stuttgart. Now, I did say, just to make sure we're in real world weather here, folks. Okay, yeah, real world time, real world weather. Let's go. We're going to go over the Alps on the way, of course, which is going to be interesting. Let's have a quick look around this nice airport. But first, let's just reset the camera angles here. There we are. We're in Air Berlin. Air Berlin. I don't know if they fly from here up to Stuttgart or not, but I'm just going to assume so. So here we are. It's actually very good scenery here. I don't think I paid for this. But it looks pretty cool, you know, it looks pretty impressive. All the bits and pieces are here. I don't know if any of you have been here before, but it's quite an impressive looking place in Nice. I've not been to Nice before, actually. I've not been to Nice before, but we're going to leave here today. So there's lots of activity in the apron, all stuff is happening and things. So let's not further ado. I'm kind of aiming this video, I'm kind of learning myself, remember. But this is going to get you to zero to hero, well, not zero to hero, but from A to B, really. And it works for me, and I've been at it for a while, so let's see what you think about it. So let's get right into it, shall we? I know most of you watch this all the time, a lot of the time, actually. And fly along, we're on the North European server, look for Nice, and look for Gripper Sim in the Discord. So let's do flight planning first, shall we? How do you do it? Right, well, first of all, you need a SimBrief account, which I have already done. Where is it? Oh god, don't tell me I've closed down the SimBrief. Oh, I have because we're doing the whole thing from zero. I'll have to move Windows. I need another screen here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is simbrief.com. Here we go. There we go. Simbrief.com. Just create an account. And in your Fenix airplane, you just link your account. Simple as that. Email and password or whatever it is. Okay, that's all you need. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the let's see what you get there. You'll come in here, yeah. So what you want to do, there's my login name there. So we want to go to dispatch and dispatch system, I think. Yes. And all I do is create new flight. Boom. Now I've got to put in certain things here. Okay. So I'm just going to make the window a little bit bigger for you all. So let's keep it very simple. This is going to be just like a flight plan from the real airlines. Okay. Very similar. So first of all, we need to do our don't worry about the airline or the flight number. I'm only going to show you one or two things that are all you need to know, and then get going. So we're going to depart from Nice, which is the ICAO identifier is Lima Foxtrot Mike November. We are going to go to Stuttgart, which is Echo Delta Delta Sierra. Good, and that has all shown on the Microsoft Flight Simulator map, so you can look at the map before you go. It's given us an alternate, the times, and everything else. All you have to do after that is put in the airframe. So we're flying an Airbus 320. I don't think it's the Neo. 320. Boom. And we can check it. Now, I don't want the NOTAMs. I don't want those NOTAMs there. Runway analysis, we don't have to have any of that. Not that it's a big deal now. Down here it shows your flight plan. Yeah, okay, bit of an odd one, but you know, it'll work. It looks like we're going to the westerly runway. So that's your flight plan done. And what you do next is you simply, just see here. Yeah, okay, Let's see what that gives us. Hopefully I won't hames this up. It should all work according to plan. Okay. Okay. Let's look at runways. It generates the weather, so we're taking off the right runway. So we're departing 04 right, and we're arriving at 25. Okay. So let's generate the flight. So you got to generate the flight. And what happens when you generate the flight? It does all the weights and balances and generates passengers randomly for you and all that stuff. It's like the real thing. And we're left with, now that's up in the cloud. It's sitting there, right, after generating it. And we're going to upload this into the sim. So there is our routing here. Okay. There's our picture of the routing here. And also down here is the real world flight plan. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm ignoring all this stuff for the moment. Okay, there's only one thing I want out of here, right? Only one thing I want out of this, and that is our route. So our route, look for routing. Boom. There is our route. So we're taking off 04 right, and there's our departure, I hope. Yeah, there's our departure, and all our airways, and all our waypoints, and then our arrival, and then we go. Our arrival to 25, runway 25 now. Great, done. Happy days. Get rid of that. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to go to our Fenix, right? And when you come in here, it'll ask you, do you want to log on to SimBrief, etc. I've already done that. Okay, easy. And when you've logged on, connected your account, you just tap to import from SimBrief. That's it. That's it. Come on. Okay, that's fine. I just hit it twice. Don't worry about the times there, that's all fine. And then we have the weather for departure and arrival. Departure QNH 1019, great. Okay, that's it. Next, let's load up the airplane. Let's get all the packs on board. So we'll need a gate. So let's do it instantly. I'm going to go to mass balance. I'm going to load the aircraft. Now when you hit this load button, see all our passengers, 151 passengers, fuel is all planned and everything. So I'm going to load the aircraft. And it's going to give me the option. Do I want it instant or wait 25 minutes just like real or fast time? I'm going to go instant. So let's just assume the aircraft is loading and the gate will come up here and latch onto the aircraft. Happy days. Look at that. There's the gate coming up. Very nice. Happy days. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to power up the aircraft. Very straightforward in the Airbus. It's a little bit choppy, probably because of all the traffic, but it'll calm down once we take off. Battery 1 and 2 on. 1 and 2. You want the batteries in the aircraft for power. Also external power. That's available. That's a generator on the ground that they'll usually have. And that's it. Next, I want to put on all the lights. It's very dark in here. It sounds very loud, the old packs there. I'll just put them down to low for the moment. Hopefully that will... It doesn't seem to be modeled, does it? Anyway, where was I? Okay, lights. So let's get some lights on here. And actually, before I put on the lights, we want to... Let's get all the lights on first. Because you're going to think there's a bug there, just like I did. Because you've no screens there, you got to turn all the lights on. So I'm turning all the lights here. Boop, boop, boop. The lights down here for these two screens here. Boom. Let's go. Boom. We put on the first officers. No, we won't. Let's say frame rates here. It's a little bit choppy for the moment. I don't know why. Traffic shouldn't really interfere. Maybe it does. Get rid of the armrest. More lights down here. One thing I did forget that is just not on, folks. That's the sim. I'm getting really good readings here from my internet. It'll calm down. I want the dome light here. You'll see dome light here. I'm putting that onto bright. And have I got anything else? Yeah, here. Overhead lights. The switches are all over the place, you know. And that's all the lights I can find for now, except for this one here. That's another one there. Floodlight. Okay. Let's make sure my flaps are up. My throttles are all good. Engine should be off. Oops, should have done that before I started the sim. I gotta get an error now because I was trying to start up the engines, I bet you. Yeah, I was trying to start up the engine, so we're gonna get a few errors now because of that. but no worries. Okay, so physical controls are set. Yep. And let's get the checklist out. Before I get the checklist out, you see the way the screens are all weird here? What's happening there is you've got to wait for the inertial navigation system, INS, RNS, to align. Believe it or not, the navigation, part of the navigation on these aircraft, and it's been around for quite some time, is... Oops. It's an accelerometer and gyros, would you believe? Now, it usually takes a half an hour, but we're not waiting half an hour. See, still waiting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch them off and on again, and that's part of the sim there. It'll allow you so you don't have to wait, and that's going to be instantly aligned, so we can get on with our flight planning. Happy days. So checklist. You get a checklist for the Airbus and flightsim.to. Just put in checklist and you'll be fine. Just print it out and happy days. Single pilot, obviously. Okay, parker brake. I've checked this already pretty much. Parker brake, I'll go through it anyway just for people who are new. Parker brake is on. Flaps are up. Yes, they are. Spoilers are retracted and disarmed. Yeah. Predictive wind shear is off. Predictive wind shear is here. That's it there. Predictive wind shear is off. And the weather radar, of course. Engine masses 1 and 2, as you saw earlier on there, they should be off. Thrust levers are down, yes they are, and gear is down. Let's check the gear lever here. I'm checking my physical one and the one of the sim, and they're both down. And wipers off. This is pretty much from a real kind of flight. You know, you don't want them on because, you know, you're going to wreck your windscreen on the ground, aren't you? Battery 1 and 2 are already on, I've done that already. External power, I've already done that. Brake pressure checked. How do I check the brake pressure? There's a few things there that... There it is. That's all good. Okay. If I depress the brakes, will that do anything? Not yet, no, because there's no hydraulics active. Cockpit lights are set already. Instrument display brightness are already set. APU fire test. This is a test of the real thing to make sure that your warnings are working correctly. There we go. 1 and APU and engine 2. So that's all they're doing. Lots of other tests like that, but we're not going to go through them with this checklist. APU fire test. APU master on. APU start. Let's start the APU. Auxiliary power unit. That is a turbine at the back of the aircraft that will provide power, including electrics and hydraulics, etc. to the aircraft. Well, that's starting up. Crew oxygen supply. That will be needed for breathing purposes. That's on. Passengers aren't modelled. CVR, cockpit voice recorder. Where are you? Where are you? I had it there earlier on today. I think this is it here. Is it? Okay, voice recorder. There it is. There. Sure, look. Here it is. Okay, that's all fine. ADRs 1, 2 and 3, that's those 3 switches are switched off and on earlier on. They're all aligned. External lights, wing and nav lights on. Boom. Nav and logo and wing lights. I don't think by the wing lights. That's here we are. Wing lights, sorry. Okay, good. No smoking and all that kind of stuff. Okay, no smoking. And seatbelt signs on by the board. Emergency exit lights are here, this button here. I love the way they've modelled it again. Pull it out and it's armed. Let's just arm it there for the moment. Annunciator lights check as required. These is just to check that all the bulbs are working in your lights. It's over here. I'll have to turn off the dome lights here to switch it on, and you'll see all the lights light up, so you can check that all the bulbs are working. I'll put the dome light on bright. Probe and window heat, that is up here in the anti-ice section here. That will put the pitot heat on so we get our airspeed reading and warm the windows. AC temperatures, okay, I just put it down to low. I'm not really worried about air conditioning. It's not that well modelled yet. ECM page, electrics. Okay, battery 1 and 2 off then on, and this is something new. ECM page electric. Let's just see what happens here. This is something I need to look into. Electric, so switch it to electric. Electric. There it is. And batteries off. I'm going to switch off the batteries. Ground power supplying the power. And switch them back on again. And they're back on. I don't know what that test is for. Is it to do with electrics? But I'll find out. Fuel pumps are all off. That's fine. Engine fire test, that's fine. Fine. Flight directors 1 and 2 on. Flight directors are these ones here. FD, one here, and one here. That shows you the little crosses for the autopilot wants you to go, and you just follow it. Barrow, the Q&H in Nice is... You can look down here. I've loaded the aircraft. I'll come out here. I'm actually going to go to departure performance. That's going to give it to us anyway. Q&H in Nice is... Where are you? It's not thinking. Oh no, that's not good. Get rid of that. Let's just confirm this. We are taking off runway. Takeout. Oh, I haven't loaded the flight plan. No wonder. Nothing's going to happen. We need to load the flight plan. So let's load the flight plan. So you saw in sim brief there that I uploaded it. We got to load it in here into the computer. Okay. So we go to init request. Now that's going to drag because we're going to log on to the Fenix, and this is going to suck down our flight plan from SimBrief. Takes a bit, second or two, and you'll see here it'll go from Lima Foxtrot November, Mike November, and Echo Delta Sierra. There we are. So it's loaded in the aircraft to the flight management computer. Now we can sync. There we go. There we go. Q&H is 1019. 1019. Once Q&H is the pressure setting, we need that to know our height above the surface. Very important. 1019. Otherwise the altimeter doesn't know what to read. That's once, that's twice, and thrice. 1019. 1019. Good. Bar set. Okay, so I'm going to leave that where it is. Oh, we can check our flight plan. So we got to finish off our flight plan here. I'm going to do that now. So we've loaded in the basics of the flight plan. I'm going to put flight number 01. Caustics I'm going to put in 99 because we're going to fly like a bat out of hell initially. A cruise, you know, a cruise would be in our flight plan here somewhere. Now I have to submit to you, I don't really know a lot about all of this, but as I said, we're just going to go from A to B. Where is the cruise altitude? I'll tell you what we can do. It's going to depend on ATC anyway, but what we can do is if we go to Prague, it says here the optimal flight level is 350. So I'm going to set it to transition altitude. I think the transition altitude. The transition altitude here. Where would we find the transition altitude? Ah, I'll use my phone. Oh no, that's not going to give it to us. It's in the flight plan there somewhere. Let me get the flight plan out here and see if I can put my eyes on it. It's a little bit cryptic and all over the place, I would admit to you. There we go, Nice. If I can find it. Hello, Mr. Norway. Greetings to you on Twitch. We've also got on YouTube. Excuse me. We've got Brian. Good afternoon. Clappy D on YouTube. Mike on YouTube as well. Hi all. We're seeing the world today. YouTube says. Mike on YouTube. 350 Sim Pilots is with us. Any questions? Let me know, dude. Yes. Where is the? We always get someone to help us. Where do we get the transition altitude from the flight plan? My eyes are all over the shop. I'm very much open to any suggestions. Also 350 Sim Pilot says the ADR usually takes 7 minutes to align. Is that all? Wow. Well, I learned it took half an hour, but that was over 10 years ago. Thank you very much. And Perpetual Amiga is also with us. Great to see you again, Perpetual Amiga. So I'm just glancing my eyes out. It doesn't really matter yet. Flight level 26,000 feet it says here. That's an alternate. So look, I'm going to put in a transition altitude of 5,000 feet just for shits and giggles. So I'm going to put it in my altitude here. Now I know it's in there somewhere. I'm going to kick myself. It's probably in the flight plan. So anyway, let's continue on with our flight plan. So I was in init. We loaded our flight plan. Now it's loaded everything except I put in 35,000 feet here. And that'll give us our cruise altitude. We can change that as we go, it's no big deal. But if I go to init, if I go to flight plan now, this is the guts of it. So it has, this is how you do it, right? Here I'm going to go to plan mode, so I can see all my waypoints. And as you can see here, there's a big gap between where I am and the next waypoint. This is our departure, okay? So that it comes in as a flight plan discontinuity. It's not matching up. So that's, I hit flight, sorry. Let me go back here. So we're going from Nice here. Boom. We're going to select our departure. Where do we get all this from? Well, look here. We are taking... No! No flight simulator. No windows. So you can see here, here's all the stuff I'm reading that from. So we're taking off 04 right, and this is our departure here. Okay? At the first few lines. So we're taking off 04 left. Sorry, 04 right. And we're coming back in runway 25. 25, just like to take notes sometimes with my pen. So 04 right, and you can see here 04 right. Boom. Now that's for our standard instrument departure. Standard instrument departure, SIDS. And in the flight plan, it's giving me IMAR 7A. IMAR 7A. I hope I got that right there now. Here, IMAR 7A. This one here. Oops. IMAR 7A. Please be there and don't make a fool out of me. Boop. Up to go down. I know. IMAR 7. There we go. IRMAR. Oh no. Yeah, it's. I don't know why it does this, but I know that's right because it's worked for me in the past. It doesn't have the OR there, but what we can do is we can check that. So I'm selecting that. I'm going to hit insert. And you'll see here if we get. There we go. So we can zoom in here. And I can see that we're going to be taking off 04. That's correct for 04. And we're going to take a loop around and out we go, and that'll do. Happy days. Now the arrival. Let's select our arrival. Boom. Let's clear that. And clear that message there below. There's our arrival into Stuttgart. Boom. Arrival. And it says, no, wrong window. Wrong window. It says, there's our arrival, Rutal 1W. I'm just, no, Rutal. But it's runway 25. ILS 25, I like ILS. ILS 25. Then when I click that, I'm looking for Rutal. Come down to OR. Oh. That looks very similar. Route of 5A. Is that exact? I don't know why. It's not exact. That's the only one. But look, let's choose that one. Insert and see what it looks like. Okay, so to see what it looks like, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Zoom out. I'm going to let's zoom in a little bit there. So here's all our waypoints. Up we go. So it's selecting in the center of the screen all the waypoints all the way there, all through the airways. See, it's going north, which makes sense because that's where we're going to Stuttgart. Let's keep hitting that button. Keep going. No, I'm just gonna expand the zoom a little bit. Oop. Interesting. It looks like we kind of come overhead. We turn up here and then we do a loop around and come back in. So there you go. It's not the exact same, but it does the job. Now, is there anything else I've left out there? Rutal, arrival. I'll do a via. Routal 25. Oh, it does say, let's just see that routal there. Just because the name matches. Let's see what that gives us. Now I've got to hit the arrow keys all the way up again to see that. Down is up, oddly enough. No, that's the end of the flight plan. I was wrong. Up is next. There we go. Well, that looks like it's... Oh, it looks messy. We'll see what happens. When we're coming down here, I don't like the look of that, but what we can do is, what I'm going to do later in the flight, when we get here, I'm going to go direct to this white waypoint up here. Just sort that out. And then we'll just go direct here, we'll turn base, and then on final, and everything will be fine. This is very important, because when you first start using Flight Simulator, you're going to have to take yourself out of problems. Sometimes it goes crazy, I don't know why. But we're going to go up this way. I don't know what that loop's for, and I don't know what that loop is for. Anyone knows, let me know. Let's have a look at the chat. Maybe someone's shouting at me. I think it's called a procedural turn, on Twitch, Icebird says. On YouTube, nothing yet. The ADRS only takes 7 minutes. Okay, great. And let's try that, and we can get a dig ourselves out of a hole, and you'll see. We're just going to use the direct button, which is here. It's very handy. You know, think about it. You got to add, amend, delete. You know, you got to know to add, amend, delete. Simple programming, isn't it? Okay, so I'm happy with that for the moment. We'll worry about it on the way. Let's get in the cruise. Okay, so FCDU I've set. We've got everything's in managed mode. Speed will be in managed mode. Should it not be in managed mode now? Okay, we'll leave it there. Everything going up to 5,000 feet initially. QNH 1019. That's all fine. Radio set up. Don't worry about that. MCDU data. Check. Okay, everything's fine. Our APU should have started. I hit the APU button down there. APU is all good. MCDU setup, I've done that. RadNav setup. Well, actually, all we're using here is, I could make it more complicated if I want, but it automatically puts in the ILS and course for our runway we're leaving on in case we need to come back very quickly. I4 clearance, we're not using the radios. IRS aligned, they're already done. Flight plan, we reviewed it. EFIS nav aids, that's fine. Takeoff briefing, we'll do that when we get hold short of the runway. And Squawk is on standby. But we can put in our code if you want. Let's say I don't know, 4545. No, 55. Let's say. Okay, it's on standby. So you put your Squawk in there if you have one from your clearances. Start up APU master on. Okay, that's already done. APU. Why is it asking me again? Or maybe I just put it on myself. MCDU weights. Okay, let's put in our weights for the aircraft. So the passengers are loaded. Here's all the information we have for our weights. I'm going to take off runway 04. The surface is dry. I want to take off with one flap, stage 1. I'm not going to force toga. We're going to go flex. No anti-ice, no packs. Takeoff weight here. Yeah, that's all fine. Just have that there for us. Calculator V-speeds. But actually, I want to take off. I made a mistake earlier on, and I should have known better. Come back out here. Go into Fenix. You want our basic empty weight. 0 fuel weight, and that center of gravity. Okay, so that's what we need. 59.5. 59.5. So we're going to go into performance. Sorry, we're going to go into init now. Init page 2. Boom. So let's just double check that I'm putting wrong numbers. 59.6 I gotta put in. 59.6. I'm just rounding it up. Slash, take note. The format I'm typing in is going to be the same as format here. It has to be the same format. So that's our 0 fuel weight. C of G. It's 30.6 0 fuel weight. 30.6 center of gravity. Good. 30.6. Boom. Block fuel. It's done the fuel for us already, so we would have the block on our sheet. As I showed you, that is going to be in the flight plan, which we had a look earlier on. And that's all good. Confirm the block. Happy days. MCDU takeoff performance. So that is performance here. We want our V1, VOR, VU2. VOR is when we're barreling down the runway. Let me put it in. I'll talk to you when I'm putting it in. We have to come back out of here again to take off performance. Departure performance. Instead of doing it manually, this is great. It calculates it all for you. So V1, 140, 140 and 143. V1 is the speed when you're barreling down the runway. If you have an engine failure, when do you stop? Do you know? So if I'm barreling up to a speed of 140 knots, okay, if I have an engine failure or something catastrophic, I can come to a stop of 440 knots to make it by the end of the runway. Yeah? After 140 knots, I'm taking off because I won't stop by the end of the runway. VR is also 140, so that's the same. V2, I think it's 142. 143. V2 is your takeoff safety speed, which you will have authority of the rudder with one engine. In other words, you can keep flying with one engine and you'll have rudder authority. Happy days. Let's get our trim set, which is also very important. Flaps 1 down, 0.1. So I'm taking off for flaps 1. And DN 0.1. You'll see here, the format is exactly the same as I've been given here. Yeah? Good. Wrong one. No, don't make me enter it again, please. Damn you. 1/DN. I'm used to a QWERTY keyboard. This is wrecking my head. DN 0.1. Boom. Was it 68 there, the flex speed? I think it was 68 degrees flexed up there. I think it was 68. No, 64. Bugger. Boom. That's it. That's our takeoff performance. Climb is all managed. Cruise is all managed. Descent is all managed, partly. Then they go around. And that's our approach. We'll have to worry about that on the way. Let's not worry about that yet. Okay, happy days. V speeds are set. If APU available, APU bleed on. Yeah, we want APU bleed on now. APU bleed. See, it takes a while. This is what's happening when you're sitting in the back, isn't it? APU bleed is here. That's APU is on, so we're going to get air sucked into those engines to start them. External power now we don't need. The APU is running. That's the external power up here. Switch that off. Seatbelt signs on, which I already did, and air conditioning set is required. That's fine. I already did that. Push back and start up. We're going to start pushing back now. And we're going to head off. Doors and windows closed and locked. Let's get all those cones out of the way and all the nonsense that's around the aircraft. Let's get the steps away. And all that kind of stuff. So go to ground services and remove the jetway. Get rid of the GPU and the chocks and cones and close the doors. Come on, go away. That's it. Now close the door. There we go. So all the doors are closed. Let's call the tug. Oh, I wish it would stop doing that, folks. I wish it would stop doing that. The airport is very complicated. That's why that's happening. Ground services, and let's get call the tug. Tug's underneath us there somewhere. There we go. Nice little tug. Very nice, fancy little tug here. It's different than normal. It's taking a while there, folks. Let's say we're clear to start up engine number 2. Let's start up engine number 2. Number 2, and all we do is make sure it's on start and up and on. That'll kick off engine number 2. Now let's get the tug to push us back. Now first, before we go, we're taking off runway 04. I'm going to cheat here a little bit. I'm going to cheat here a little bit and just look, rather than looking at Navigraph. 04 is going to be 04 right, so it's right down the end here. See, that's 04 left and the other one's 04 right. So we're going to taxi all the way down here, so I know now where I want the nose. Why is it so incredibly slow? Yeah, it's struggling a bit. I think what it is it's with the traffic, folks. So I want the nose to the left as I see it. Good. Let's push back now. Park and brake off. Good. Push me back. I'll hit the start button first. Go on. There we go. A little bit slow. I think it's primarily because the scenery. There's a message here for me. I don't know what that is. What's that? The steering disc. Fuel pumps. Oh god, the fuel pumps. You idiot. How did I miss that? How did I do that? It's shocking. I missed it. That's embarrassing. It's a new checklist, so I'm kind of going back and forth a good bit. Okay. Once we get out of here, it's going to look a lot better. Let's start up engine number 1 then. Oop. There's engine number 2 already started. Let's hop out, and that air, all those error messages are now, sorry, all those error messages are now clearing. I'll show you where all the error messages are here. That's actually quite handy. There's the engine starting up. Oh jeez, I'm gonna hit. I'll be backed onto the road here in a second, folks. Thank God. Okay, the engine's starting up. There's the other back road I want to follow. Stop. I hit the stop button there. Tug disconnect. And when I said there, the error messages, they appear here. Look at this. Anything's wrong will appear here, which is really cool. You know, it really is impressive. Because look, I didn't switch on the fuel pumps. You know, you'd be going, oh, what's going on with the engines? Why can't I move forward? Push back and start up with the doors closed. Damn. Yeah, I don't like this check. This beacon should come on. Are you kidding me? You start up, push back and start up. I'm not too sure about this checklist. Anyway, the beacon light should have been on. You know, that should have been much earlier on. It's a not checklist. I might go back to my old one. Steering pin removed, transponder auto, TCAS standby. Yes, of course it's on standby. Clock. Start the clock for the taxi here. The chrono, I think. That brings just a stopwatch here. See, 2 seconds. Park and brake status required. If cleared for engine start. Well, okay, we're all done. I just jumped ahead there a little bit in the checklist. A little bit ahead of myself there. So you gotta follow the checklist blindly, you know. 4 takeoff, spoilers, flaps. Okay, we'll do all that while we're taxiing, okay? Well, we're gonna taxi, so we will need our strobes to be off anyway. No sight and runway turn off lights should be on. Runway turn off lights, no sight to taxi. We'll do the rest as we go. Let's start taxiing. Park and brake off. Park and brake is off, and let's go. And add a little bit of power. Just a wee bit. There we go. There's someone else backing out. Let's get out ahead of him. Come on. It's going to be a crash. There we go. Let's get our arc mode in. 10. Okay. Let's get our auto brake on. That is this one here. Oh, by the way, the mode has been put back to normal there. Auto brake. Onto max. That's here. You can press it with your mouse as well. By the way, I did mention anti-skid. That's already on. Good. Spoilers armed. This is all for the ejector takeoff. far as I'm aware... Yep, that's good taxi. That's fine. That looks a bit dodged there, doesn't it? Wing clearance over that big thing there. Taxi goes light, we're going to turn off lights, strobes. Yeah, they're on order now. Are they? Nope. That should have been before we moved, by the way. Take off config. Don't put in there. Oh. Yeah, all good. Port takeoff, cabin crew notified. Exterior lights, all nose wheel lights to take off, which I think I did already. No, I did not. No, well, that's just before we enter the runway. Let's hold ourselves back here. Packs, TCAS, weather radar. Okay, so we'll hold at the runway. We'll get across this runway here now. This is the taxiway here. I'm going to taxi a little bit faster. In fact, yeah, I'm tempted to decrease. There's someone coming into land there. Let's assume we have permission to cross the runway. See, that's for 04 left, and right is down here. Let's assume we've got a clearance to line up and wait, folks. Oh, hang on. That's not the entirety of the runway there. I missed a right turn there. The hardest part... A bit too much power out of there. The hardest part is finding your way around the taxiways. I'm hoping the weather's going to be bad coming into Stuttgart. That's a bit of fun. I have to remember as well, the rudders in this, I was flying at the 11 o'clock stream there this morning, and I put a little bit of rudder to correct when I was touching down. And I have to say, I went off the runway a little bit. And I was like, what? I was like on a slide. I was just sliding all over the runway. So I looked it up, and some people are complaining that I'm going to use the whole runway. Some people are complaining that it's a little bit too sensitive. There's an aircraft coming in here. Look, see his light? I don't know. Oh, it looks like it's very far away, though. Maybe not. I'm going to hold here anyway. We'll hold and wait for him to land. We can have a look at the comms that way. So I'm going to leave the nose so I can kind of see incoming traffic there. Go to halt here. Park and brake on. We want... Let's assume there's no traffic, for the love of God. Taxi before takeoff, cabin crew notified. Exterior lights all... Yeah, we got all our lights on. Nose wheel lights to take off. Anti-ice packs. Yeah. TCAS. Oh. Let's wait till he lands first, shall we? Let's do it by the book. Because I'm only going to blind him now at that light, aren't I? He's got a bit to go. We'll see him coming in a second. Let's not do that. That would be foolish. Just blinding people. Strobe should... Yeah, we'll do all that when we go. Let's have a look at this guy land. I'm going to wait for this traffic. Oh, he's coming on left, so he is. So we don't have to wait. I wasn't too sure if he was coming in the right or the left runway. But there he is. He's a jet. Oh, my camera isn't fast enough to keep up. Come on, camera. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Interesting. Okay. couldn't tell if he's right or left. Okay, let's line up and go. And by the way, before I go, let's say hello to people who are following us on the North European server. We have, at the moment, the only tags I can see is Redcap, Sorkio. I think you're with us, Sorkio71. Are you new? Who else can I see? DCS Dux is there as well at the gate. Stempy, Nigg, and the people at the back, I'm not too sure. I can't read their names. So, great. There's no one coming in. Let's hop in. Probably exterior lights. Okay, let's get some lights on. Nose wheel lights. 2 takeoff. Landing lights. On. Anti-ice, yeah. Packs, yeah. TCAS. This is happening as you're entering the runway, by the way. TCAS TRA, and our transponder is also to come on, which is there. Weather radar on, and predicted wind shear on. Boom, boom. Weather mode card, a takeoff memo blue. Okay. Let's add a bit of power. And get on the runway, park and brake off. And add a bit of power, and off we go. Everything's good here, look. Go on. Go on. Okay. Let's get the chrono on. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is the damn chrono? There he is. Okay, folks, let's go. Let's declutter. Okay, everything's good to go. 40%, is it there? 40% or 50%? Let's go to 40%. See the engines here to make sure they're stable. And power up to flex. Nice and gently. The SIP's killing me. Very slow. Let's find out what that is. I'm going to keep going for the sake of it. And V1. Let's see what happens. V1, rotate. How's right gear up? Let's follow the flight director. Autopilot. No, doesn't like it. Okay, let's see what that problem is. Takeoff inhibit. Oh. No, the takeoff inhibit. Let's accelerate a little bit. Clears up, no lights. Why was it beeping at me now? It's cleared. It said slats weren't in takeoff. Oh, the flaps weren't on. Bugger. I knew there was something. Did you see me look down there a little bit? Flaps weren't on takeoff position. Yeah, that's a new checklist for you. Put on the autopilot. Flaps weren't in the takeoff position. Constraints on. Yeah, I see. I missed that as well. But we're good. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's all good. Okay, so let's climb lever. Oh, 1500 feet back to climb. Good. So it's funny how you change checklist. You know. It's all over the shop. Next time I'll follow it religiously, because in all fairness I was hopping around getting ahead of myself a little bit. So we're all good. Flaps are up, gears up. After takeoff checks. I started the chrono already. No, I didn't. I'll start it now. Better late than never. Brake set is required. Engine's fine. After takeoff checks. Gears up, flaps are up, spoilers are disarmed. No, they're not. Boom. Thrust set to climb, autopilot set, nose wheel lights. When I turn off lights? Nose wheel lights off. Off, off, and when we turn off lights off. Well, that's on, off. Climb, set barrow past the transition. I said the transition will be 5,000 feet. Let's keep going up. Let's say we're clear to 30,000 feet. Set it to manage mode, for the love of God. Go on. There we go. Q and H. Standard once. Standard twice. And we leave the Q and H in the other one. And this backup one here. Anti-ice is required. EFIS set is required. Weather radar is required. Go for 1,000 feet. Landing lights off, which we'll do. And then the landing lights come off. And seatbelt sign is required. So we're off, folks. Let's have a look. What are you moaning about now? Barrow reference discrepancy. Oh! There we go. Where was I? Yeah, we're going to have a look outside here. Didn't go so well because I skipped the checklist a little bit. There's the runway down there. And we're off, and now we can have a look at the comments. I'm going to do a bit of catching up with the comments there. So yeah, new checklist, new things. It's so important to follow that checklist because look, the flaps weren't, you know, I kind of rushed it a bit. It slows you down. New checklist, so we'll see how this goes on the next flight. Hold on to that checklist. Let's see what the comments are happening here in the comments. Well, let's go to YouTube first and say hello to Brian Clappy D. Mike on YouTube. I said that already. Sim 350 pilot. The ADRS usually takes 7 minutes. Wow. 350 Sim pilot says those loops in your arrival at Rutal and Iburu are a sim error. Oh, great. It should be straight. It should be a straight line. You can fix it by doing a direct to Iburu. Thank you. And that's exactly what I was going to do. So that's great. Petrol Amiga says, are we there yet? No. 54 watching. No. 7 likes. 54 people watching? No, we don't. Not 54 people watching. 54 people watching? Surely you're not watching somebody who... Oh God, 67 people are watching. On YouTube, you poos. Happy days, folks. Yes, welcome everybody. So, you know, let me know if you're happy with me to continue doing this as I learn it. Because I'm learning as well. So, we're getting from A to B here and it's working for me. Those mountains. Look at those Alps, folks. Look at those Alps. We are on the climb here. Let's have a look and see more shots here. Where was I? I was on YouTube. Mad W Productions, greetings. Those pesky flaps. Yeah, I've never done that before. You see, it's amazing to see the errors. You know, I was thinking, I was getting ahead of myself, going, oh yeah, flick this, flick that, I know what to do. No, follow the checklist. That's what they do with the real airlines, so that's what I do with the small little airplanes. And I was skipping to the checklist. You know, no, to not follow the checklist. They make them do it in the airlines, even though they do it every day. Because you'll skip something, you know, you'll be distracted. You know, you usually have your thumb here, you're holding your thumb on the next bit. If you get distracted, you go, yeah, whatever, and you go back to it. But still, I mean, even I'll go back a few lines just to double check, but I didn't do it today. So you see how important it is, and they make them do it in the airlines, the checklists. Anywho, there you go. It's always learning. Don't forget to like, folks and folkettes. Bakerfly, greetings and salutations to you too, Bakerfly, on Twitch then. I'll go back a little bit. FU Max is back. Great. FU Max is really helping me out as well. Hi Gripper, something for you to read in the cruise. So how to find your flight level. 2 ways to find it. The easiest for you is in SimBrief. Above the picture of the map is the OPF summary. Okay, yeah. So how do we find our cruise then? Let's examine that. Hi Gripper. The picture of the map in the OFP summary. So this is where to put your eyes. You need to get very familiar with this, I would imagine, FU2 Max, sorry. To know what your eyes to look, you know. There is a route there. Flight level 26. Alternate route. No, that's not alternate route. 26. There's a routing. I'm happy here. Generally flight plan change outside the sections. It's not a big deal, but you know. By the way, yeah, we're all good. Okay. Is it in here though? Why can't I see it? So your eyes are dotting all over the place because you don't know the format. It's like when I learned Unix back in the day. You know, it's like, oh, what? But once you get to know it, that's the winds. That's too far down. Cruise. Let's go line by line, shall we? Oh, OPF, OFP, you said. OFP, yeah. OFP. Do you read it like this? Look for anything that says FL or this max takeoff acceleration. I ain't seen it there. I ain't seen it. Anyway, let's go to the comments and I'll come back to that as we're climbing. Of course, my TV wants to turn off, so I've got to refresh the televisions for power saving. Let's continue with the chat there. I got a bit distracted. I'll come back to you, F2 Max. DCS Dex says, don't worry about me, don't even have the throttle properly mapped, it seems. Yeah, it takes a while, doesn't it, DCX? But it's kind of fun, you know, it's kind of fun flying these. You didn't set your flaps, FG Max, yeah, I know, I found that out. Iceberg slots are set by flaps, okay, took off the flaps, thank you. Didn't set your flaps again, Iceberg, you didn't set your flaps, Gripper Sim, everything. You took off with no flaps, says Crispy Chips as well. FU Max, oh, here we go. Everyone's getting that bug. Iceberg 4. Hey, Gripper Sim, is that pro pilot? Don't need slats or flaps. Yeah. Returning. 18,000 feet. Having one of those flights already. Yep. Iceberg says set flaps. It was flaps. I know. I'm bold and I know it. And I should be punished. 19,000 feet now, 10,000 feet to go. Let's have a look at our optimal altitude. Now, this is a short flight, I have to remember. Let's get a flight plan here. Oh, no, it's not so short. 411 nautical miles to go. So let's just see where our index are, because we're going to need to speed that up. Okay, 99. Okay, we can learn some things in the way. You know, look at that. Let's have a look outside for a moment. Let's just declutter a bit and get some eye candy and just chill for 2 seconds. I got my buttons cam working, folks. The juicer buttons. So I can twist that around, which is great. And then I can go to the yoke, which is all. And when I'm using these sets of throttles here, you know, the Bravo. And you can see me using the yoke there, so I'm going to leave the camera there. So that's it. You can see my throttles over here. Not a very good camera. I cheaped out in this camera here. I want to get one with a zoom, and there's my face, so I'm going to get rid of all those for eye candy purposes. Boom. Boom. There we go. Pop outside. Boom. There we go. Let's straighten the camera. Oos. Sorry about that. There's the view over the Alps, folks. That is impressive. Is it not? Very good. For those of you who are new to the channel, right, it's always on landing, when I'm in approach and it's busy and if I've forgotten something, okay, producer buttons, yeah, you will jump around, get under the cables, jump on my lap, and all hell breaks loose. It's usually an approach, and it's something, especially if something goes wrong. And I think what happens is, let's just make that picture of producer buttons a little bit larger there for you. I think what it is that sets her off is the tone of my voice, because it sounds stressed and she jumps around like a loony. So sometimes I have to give her a treat to pass. I shouldn't have said that word, hopefully she didn't hear. Sometimes I have to give her that thing just to pacify her, you know. But as a producer, you know, I don't know. I may have to sack the producer. You know, I may have to sack the producer. Producer? You know, I might get sacked. So, there you go. Don't wink at me. Yep. Let's see how our climb is doing. Now, one little thing. I'm going to go up to our optimum altitude, and let's check that out. We're at 24,000 feet now. We're climbing. How do you find your optimal altitude? Well, apparently, go here to Prague. It tells you. Cruise 35, optimum is 35,000 feet, and max is 38. So we're going to go to 35,000 feet. How about those apples? Alright, you like them apples? Let's go to 35,000 feet. Set it there. I'm looking here, sorry. You should see where our eyes are. So we're going to 35,000 feet, which is the optimal altitude. Happy days. Let's go back outside and go back to the chat. Let's get another view here. Very nice. Who's up beside us? Can't see their tag. Can't see his tag there. Sometimes it won't show the tags close up. Let's just go a little bit forward here so you can see. I love the sound of those engines. I just love the sound of those engines. That wing light is on. 36,000 feet now climbing. I didn't more wet themselves. I'll take the safety belt signs off. And I didn't switch off the APU either. That's another item in the checklist I've skipped. So there you go. I was going very, very fast with the last checklist I had. It was a little bit more basic, this I think, you know. So, but there's no harm. Learn a new thing every day. That's all you do with Flight Sim. One thing a day, and you just pile it on. Let's save those lights. There's the toilet flushing. Good. Some other traffic from the opposite direction. Very nice. Now I've got to be very cautious in my landing here this time, folks. Okay, let us go to our flight. Weather at our arrival is issued on the 11th at 1650 Zulu, auto generated wind incidentally. At 3:30 at 6 knots, and wind isn't a problem, it's just varying between 300 degrees and 0 degrees. It's 10k or more visibility, broken at 2800 feet, temperature 14, dew point 11, QNH is 1024, no significant change. That is the weather. The weather looks okay. I'm kind of disappointed there. I like the bad weather, you know. That's one of our guys there. Of course, the tag isn't clicking in. I'll leave the tags on for a little bit. Just hope, with the hope that those of you who are following along with us on the North European server, I can say hello to you. I have yet to try this in VR on my own. I'm not trying it online because I need to press other buttons, you know. So there we go. Let us do our to the climate check just away. Power is set on ice, EFIS, weather radar. Yep. Buffton has beaten on the lights on. Main lights, safety belt signs. I didn't really follow it very well though, which is a pity. It's, you know, it's down to dexterity. You know, I see some people and they're just flick, and they're gone. So it just takes a bit of practice. And these people who can do this, you can see them doing it. Some streamers, they just flick on this, flick on that, and they just flick, and they're off doing something else. They've been doing it for over 7 years, folks. That's, I looked up their channel there and I said, okay, they started way before me. Let's have a look outside here. Sunset time. I can't pick up your tag. It's very annoying. It seems to pick them up very far away. There we go. It's a nice view there. Makes a nice screenshot. Back to the chat. Twitch first. Okay, Iceberg 4 has given us a link there, simbrief.com, and a guide on how to read the flight plan. He said it's very easy to learn. We'll copy that and let's have a look at that. Use the buttons, don't go behind there, please. Thank you for the links, they're all appreciated from everybody, you know. This one here? Yeah, I got to look at some videos here. Forgot to read the flight plans. There's some QA pilot who's very good at that kind of stuff. Is that it? You don't need the probe window heat on, it can be turned off. I don't think so. I don't know. Good talk. I don't know. Let me think about this logically now. Just is kicking off again. Oh dear. This is what happens to you on final. This. Let me get the camera working here. This is one's cam. Ah! Ow! Ow! Oh, you missed that there now. She was scratching my arm to pieces. What's that? What's that? Yeah, let me think about this. So the window heat is for icing. Yeah, probe. You know, are we in icing conditions? No, there's no moisture. Let's switch it up and see what happens. You know, or no icing on at all. Yeah, no icing on at all. Can't press the camera down anymore. I'll leave it there for the moment. Is that the case? I don't know. Yeah, I know. That's my fault. APU bleed was on. I suppose let's go to bottom page. Let's have a look. Sorry, folks. Bottom. Interactive SSR. Users seeking a detailed section-by-section explanation of the flight plan can use interactive. Simply mouse over the area of the plan you wish to learn about. Oh wow, look at this! Oh my god, she's gone behind the controls again. Here, buttons, come here. This is very dangerous because it stops the stream, folks. Now if the stream is kicked off, I don't know. You can see her under there. Look at all the wires under there. And she gets right behind there. I don't think you can see her under there at the moment, but that is what happens. She tries to get my attention, and what she's trying to do, what she's actually trying to do is get a treat. Okay, I'm going to put that aside for a minute, and I'm going to, this is an emergency now. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to suspend that for a moment, and I'm going to have to produce the buttons a treat. Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen. So I'm going to dismount my chair. I'll be back in about 2 seconds though. I'm just going into the kitchen and get producer buttons a treat. So back in a second. It's black now. She's going to pull the cords out. The cords out. She's going to get a treat. Come on, let's go and get a treat. Come on. See, I think I've just realised. This the buttons getting. There you go. Good dog. You have won that battle, buttons. You've won that battle. Little dog. And now she'll leave me alone. So I think unwittingly, every time that's happened, she goes behind the cable, she knows she gets a treat. And so now she's going to always go behind the cables. So sorry about that interlude. I should have put the intermission on actually. But we're only an hour and 20 minutes into it. So let's just check everything. We're not, autopilot's engaged. We're not falling out of the sky. We're at our 35,000 feet now. We have... if you hit the flight plan button, it'll tell you 290 miles to go. So let's start planning our descent now. I'll do the cruise checklist. This time I'm going to take my time with the checklist. Nav aids, check is required. So we're going to go into RadNav. It does it automatically, but I'm going to check it anyway. So I'm going to open up Navograph. Sorry folks for that, Navograph. You have to have Navograph. It's €10 a month or something like that, but I'd like to use it. So that's where we are in the world there. We're getting close. Okay. So we are going to... Now producer buttons goes back into our level. See the cuteness clever she is. You know? It was very funny earlier on, 11 o'clock stream today. She actually had me stitches. Echo Delta Delta Sierra, boom. We want the approach for 25, boom here. Approach for 25 localizer, please, thank you. 109.9. 109.9. That's the right identifier. And of course 251, 252. It seems to be 1 degree out. I don't know why. These should be synced up though, you know. So I don't know why it's doing that. Let me know. Don't worry, I'm going to go back to the chat. So that's all set. Safety belt signs are always required. Yeah, we have a good bit to go before we descend, and I'm going to show you how I know that. I'm zooming out here. It's quite a bit away. You can't really see it. It's a little arrow. It's just up here, I think. Anyway, so that's fine. Monitor ecam, monitor weather. Yeah. Prepare arrival. Nice. And landing performance. Okay, let's prepare our arrival then. So let's go to performance. Next phase. Next phase. QNH, our arrival. Okay, so I'm going to use my phone for this. It's very handy on the fly-by-wire because you can print out the weather and it goes here. So you don't have to move around the place, you know. But I'm going to use my phone here to get the weather. The real world weather, because it's the same as Microsoft Flight Sim. So we are going to echo Delta Sierra. It's exactly the same as before. UNH is 1024. 1024. Temperature is 14 degrees. Kinetic wind, 6 meters. It's not 6 meters, it's 6 feet. The windsock. Wind is 330 at 6. 0/006. Yep. Oh, it has a transition altitude there, 5,000 feet. Great. I'm going to put the radio 200 feet for the moment. That's landing config. I want full flaps actually. There we go. Next phase. So that's the arrival set. Also, you can get the weather here as well. So if you remember here before my flight, and yet alternate. Sorry, arrival. Arrival. Now I looked at my phone because I don't want to be switching back and forth. 1024, 40 degrees. I went 330 at 6 knots. It's different. No, it's the same. It's identical. Nav aids, safety belt signs required. Flight ecam. Okay, so our arrival is. Let's get our flight plan. We were going to do something with that, weren't we? There are some bugs here. I was told earlier on, and we can. Let's shorten this trip, folks. We shorten the trip. Let's shorten it, shall we? I'm going to go to plan mode, and I want to see what waypoint I want to go direct to. This might shorten things up a little bit. Look down, so I'm going to be in flight plan for this. Boom. Let's go backwards. Boom. 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 Come up. I'm going to go to. I don't see them. Let's zoom in a little bit more. More. I'm going to go direct to Delta Sierra 525. Will that do it? Delta Sierra 525. that will clean everything up for us. So let's try that. So direct. Where's the direct button go? Direct. Give us that though. No, it's going to give. It's only waypoints, really, isn't it? No, we can do that. Yes, crispy chips are correct. This is incorrect because of those loops. So Delta Sierra 525 Delta Sierra 525 525. Come on. No. Did I miss it? I did. Delta Sierra 525, Delta Sierra 5 confirmed. Boom. Insert. Boom. And that has shortened our trip with the moon off here. Look. That's shortened our trip a good bit. Let's just go and check that out. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, that looks clean to me. That looks very clean. We can't see anything outside now. I think it's time to just get, believe it or not, it's still quite neon instruments there. So I'll just make them a little bit. A bit duller. Those lights there, I'd like to make those look like a little bit less aggressive. These here a little bit less aggressive. That's a little bit better, I think. Mind you, I do have these key lights, but you don't have to worry about those. We're in the air now for 32 minutes, folks. So that is clean. That's how you get out of jail, folks. The direct button, and I hope you followed me what I did there, and it's absolutely fantastic the way you can do that. So let's review now where we I'm going to go back to nav mode. I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Our top for descent is up here. So what is that ring though? How far is that? about 80 miles out. Less than 80 miles. See that ring there? That's 80 miles. So less than 80 miles we need to start coming down. So we've shortened our trip a bit now. As you can see, it's 161 nautical miles. And for shits and giggles, let's just see how accurate I can get it by a rule of thumb. So I'm getting my calculator out here. And we're at 35,000 feet. So I'm going to take 35, multiply that by 3. That equals 105. 105 plus 10. So, no, let's get our altitude. So 35. Yeah. So let me just get the height here of the actual. Let's get as close as we can here. We need to be at 4,000 feet to intercept the ILS here. See? 4,000 feet. And I'm going to do that now in case if I forget later. Put it down to 4,000 feet. When I want to start my descent, I just put it to manage mode by pushing in that knob. That's done. So, 35 minus 4,000 feet, so 31 multiplied by 3 is 93 plus 10. So I'm thinking we're going to start descending at 103 nautical miles out. Yeah. 35 minus 4 is 31. Multiplied by 3 and add 10. 103 nautical miles out. That's a rule of thumb, folks. Just a rule of thumb. So good. So that's the cruise. Prepare for arrival. Great. So I'm going to come down. When I'm going to descend, I'm going to push manage mode. But first, before I do that, I want to slow down. So I want to slow down a little bit, a few miles out, because there is a deceleration phase again. Because if I don't slow down, sorry, we can't see anything now because we're in the pitch black now. You know, With the pitch black. It is real time, I guess. It's bright where I am. I can see the light out the window at just the little holes, the blinds there. But it's funny, isn't it? It's coming fast. It's already dark there in Berlin, just to prove to you. We're in real world weather and live time. 1726 Zulu. 1825. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. Time. Yep, that makes sense. We've got a city underneath us there. How cool is that? Let's pop in and continue our plan. Anyway, so when I hit that mark, I'm going to start the descent. I'm going to switch to manage mode, but before that I'm going to slow down. Please God, remember. Then I'm going to start briefing for my approach again a little bit more. So as we come down, we'll speed up or slow down, whatever we need to do. 40 miles an hour before we descend. And all I'm going to do is get onto the localizer, and I just hit this little button here. You know, approach button. Yeah. Brings you all the way down. Now, here's the thing. If it's Cat 3, it'll bring you all the way down and actually flare for you. I don't know if this runway is Cat 3 though. Cat 3? Oh, Cat 3B. You can try Cat 3 if you like. I want to bring it in manually though, okay? I just get Cat 3 to bring it all the way down to flare for you. All you have to do is brake. Is you have two autopilots armed. Like I can have one or the other now, but when we have approach mode set, we can activate the other autopilot. As easy as that. And I can't believe it's that easy. You know? So there you go, folks. Let's have a look at the comments. I'm going to start on Twitch first. Let's see what you've been saying. Sorry, Crispy Chips. I've missed out on a lot of your stuff here. You're slagging me about leaving the APU on. That's fair enough. I don't need the probe window heat on. Okay. Crispy Chip says, those loops in your arrival are a sim bug. Oh yeah, that's from earlier on. Thank you very much for that, Crispy Chips, because that was bothering me. I thought it was something I did wrong. All probes in the windows are automatically heated once the engines are started. It's only turned on the ground in icing conditions before engines start. Really? Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Anyone? Okay. But then Johnny F73 says, I'm pretty sure the anti-ice is normally not lit for auto mode. Pressing it forces it on. Okay, so it's an auto mode. I love your dog, says Mr. Norway. Thank you very much. Producer Buttons, folks. The producer of the show and also the saboteur of the show. I missed the camera there earlier on. She was jumping on my arm. And it's usually when I'm coming in for approach. But sometimes I get lucky. Now that she's had her treat, she's happy. It's bright. Now I've taught her I've taught the producer that if she gets under the wires, she gets. You see? Yep. Lovely Reaper says, whereabouts are you all? We are, and I wish Navigraph would tell us exactly. Oh, I don't want to come out here now. I'll tell you where we are. We are 80 miles pretty much 80 miles to the southwest of Stuttgart. Yep. That's where we are. You can see us there on the map of the North European server. You can spawn on us if you like. I'm going to hop out now and have a look and see if there's anyone else with us. Let's just finish the comments there. Crispy Chips likes our beagle. Okay, I read that already. Thank you, Crispy Chips. Elevation is 1,206. Your MDA should be set to 1.3 for the ILS. MDA should be set. Oh yeah, I gotta figure all that. I've gotta relearn all that stuff again. Minimum to safe altitude. Your 4,000 calculation is incorrect because you didn't take into account the elevation. For simplicity, do altitude by 4 is your descent point, while the descent arrow is accurate and can be trusted. But let's see. Let's see if we descend. What was it? 106 was it? 103 nautical miles out I put in. So let's see if I work out. It worked out for me very, very well. Oh, distance 97 nautical miles. Oh, maybe you're correct. You are correct. You are very much so, sir. Yes, you are. My apologies. So, let's read that before we... Cheers, we're getting to it now, folks. Let's slow down. Dang. That's what I used to slow us down. See, it's telling me to decelerate. Now the power's coming back. I'm just going to decelerate first. I know I'm above it. We'll get down. There's no point me lowering the nose until I accelerate somehow. Now we're coming down. Damn yeah. Damn buttons. Come on. Not you, dog. Get down. There we go. It's 4,000 feet, not 3. Descending now, we're going to be a little bit too fast, but that's okay because I just learned there from it was damn it, it was from Icebird. Told me actually if you're in between these two lines you're okay, you know, you're all right. So in that case I put the cost index to 55. Let's have a Anyway, I know that's not how you control the speed, folks. I don't want to go manually here. I just thought it was clever. You can go here and I control my speed here if I wanted to. But I can use the speed brakes then either as well, you know. So I'm going a little bit too fast now and the engine is at idle. It's not. So we're fine. We'll get there. 500 feet a minute isn't enough. It's a brake in here. Because it doesn't want to accelerate. Very gently putting out speed brakes. In here. Get back into our speed range. Now we're getting descending because it needs to slow down. And I was a bit too late slowing down, wasn't I? Okay, what is incorrect because you didn't take into account elevation. Do the altitude for. Okay, I was told to do it there to the top of the VOR. Okay, cool. So we're all good. We have more drag. There you go. It's time to put in more drag. Let's do that. Do I have to clear that message? We're getting in there. Incidentally, it's amusing. Oh, you can't see where my hand is doing here. Let's try. I need to configure the entirety of the sim so you can see what I'm doing with my hands here. Let's get that other cam here. Yeah, you can't really see because the hand's blocking. I'm not letting go of the speed brake here. Because I don't want to forget it. I've done it before when the shit hits the fan. I was too high, I was trying to get down, and I wouldn't go around, and the speed brakes were just hanging out. So I tend just to leave my finger on it. I think that's safe. You know, so our speed now is kind of good. 26,000 feet. We are 67. We got plenty of time. Oh, good. What's that checklist? MCGU landing performance reviewed. Done that. TCAS. BLW. I don't know what that is. I don't know what they mean by that. BLW, folks. Anyone on ideas? BLW is there in that checklist. I missed YouTube there. Matt W Productions, got to go to meet a client for work. I enjoyed the flight. Have a good day and safe landing. Thank you very much, Matt W Productions. Bakerfly, greetings and salutations. Bakerfly, how are you? Petrol Amiga is saying, are we there yet? 350 Sim Pilot. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Those loops there, so we fixed all that. Great. Happy days. So our QH is going to be 1024. 1024 here. This is a little reminder. 1024. 23,000 feet down. We can put the safety belt signs on. Kind of on a downwind now, downwind leg, and we've got plenty of room to turn onto the ILS. I'm going to put my ILS in here, look for the identifier. Yeah, that matches up. 109.9, 18.7 miles as the crow flies, so we'll be up here. IS India Sierra Tango Whiskey is the right identifier. Good. And everything seems to be working out so far. We're not quite on profile, we're a little bit high, but I'm told that this is the problem some people have. You know, you got to get down. The only reason I didn't get down, yeah, I'm coming up to my profile here, and that's thanks to the guys helping me online. This little zigzag line, this is when I'll be on profile. You know, so when this dot comes up, you know, if I'm going a bit too fast, I know I can take the speed brakes off. So I'll gently start lifting them. Very gently. As we go. And the speed brakes are off. I'll get my hand off them now. And there we are on profile. Happy days. Out of the moon. Let's hop outside very quickly. Sorry, because there's not much to see outside though, is there? Except the moon looks fantastic. And if I can straighten the camera and burp, there we go. Very nice. It is a full moon. It certainly was yesterday where I am. It was certainly a full moon. All very nice. Everything's going dandy. A little bit high, but that's okay. It's just slightly too fast, but don't worry about that. We'll use that in the turn. Do I have the train radar on here? I did. On the first officer. No weather radar yet to speak up, but the weather's fine. And the unit is 1024. We're now passing 16,000 feet. What's the transition? Was it 5,000 feet? Did I say? 5,000 feet transition. It's really more drag now. That's not. Let's have a look at any other comments here. Crispy chips, thank you. The zigzag line is when you will intercept profile with half speed brake. Oh, right. That's a little bit more detail than I got before. Thank you, Crispy Chips. Crispy Chips is also telling us if you're high on profile, you can go selected speed and increase speed. It will increase your rate of descent above flight level 100. There's no speed limit below flight level 100. Max speed should be 250 knots. That's correct. So I could have gone. Maybe that's a bad habit I was doing, playing around with the index. Maybe I should be using, you know, the manual speed here. Is that what you'd suggest, Crispy Chips? You'd sort of say, look, don't be using the index to slow down. You know, use the speed manually and then put it back to manage mode. Is that what you would agree with that? Would you agree that'd be a bit more, you know? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that's what I should do in future, because that's the bad habit. The index, isn't it? Yes, you selected speed in the FCU panel. Thank you very much. FCU stands again for FCU panel. Damn it. I think it should be used as a speed mechanism. Yes, I think you're right. I just thought it was something I could, you know. How fast the feet now? 21 nautical miles out. Flight control unit, the knots and the yacht knob. Oh, okay. You mean flight control unit is in the whole area up here where the autopilot is? At the top. So that's the flight control panel. Flight control unit panel. Okay. Right, there's something like that. Stunning. We're starting our turn onto final, and we're going to have a long final, 24.8 miles. That suits me. Getting a little bit of turbulence. If you can hear it. Can you hear the turbulence, folks, on the flight control unit? Why do they have to make it so? Why can't they call it? What do they call it in 747? Winch glare, winch. No. Flight control unit. Flight control unit. Okay. Good. Now it's. Wants us to clear. I want to clear. Wants to activate approach phase. That'll slow us down. So, does it make a difference when you activate it? And wait till we're just a little bit closer in. We are now not in right now. 25. I'll wait till about 15 miles, I guess, because we're quite far out. I do understand that'll slow us down a bit. Won't the activating the approach phase. Again, I've got to watch some videos in this now. There's more learning for me to do in this. I'm streaming so much now, twice a day, that there's no room to sit down and learn some stuff and watch videos. I actually fixed some things today, folks, which is great between the morning and the evening. This fecker is now fixed, which is great. The radios. And as you can see, the donkey cam, the producer cam, is also working. And also I use this when I'm using the, I get this set up now for the approach, and I want to start my recording as well. So I can have my Bravo throttle cam selected. You can't really see my hand over here, I just need to change the whole setup. So let's get the camera in for the controls. See, you can see what controls inputs I'm putting in. And let's activate the approach phase. Boom. That's good. 19 nautical miles out. There it is. Wow. Too easy. I want the weather down on the deck. You know, right on the deck. Low clouds on the deck. I don't want to see the runway until the last minute. Heplicar arrival 1024. Oh my god. Look away now, please. Look away, please. Don't look at this. Don't. No. Yeah, everything's fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Everything's fine. That's right, too far, seriously. 60 miles out now. And we're a little bit high now because of that. You know, no, we're okay, I think. No, we're fine. We're right on the money. We're a little bit too high. But we're going to be there in time. Don't worry about it. We'll be there in time. What I'm doing is here, I didn't set the Q&H in time, way out of time. So we're going to be okay. We're going to get to it. Everything will be fine. We don't want to get onto the glide slope here. And it's going to happen. Very gently now take the brakes up. Brakes are off. Brakes are off. Let's get ready for landing. Spoilers armed, and brakes to medium. No, please, medium. There we go. Thank you. Landing, Ethos, terrain, yep, fine. Exterior lights. Let's put the lights on. Exterior lights, take off. It's getting bumpy, folks. God. Good, I'm going to activate approach mode now. Approach mode activated, and we have around the glide slope. Correct set spoilers armed flaps for landing and takeoff memo. Doesn't give us a lot of detail, so usually it's about 8 miles out. I put in flaps 1, and then flaps 2, and we put it in now. Flaps in, flaps 1, and then with flaps 2 I put gear down. I suppose it depends on the company's procedures, doesn't it? That's flaps 2 now. No, too early. Flaps 2 should come down at a minimum of 200 knots, is it? Okay, flaps 2. Gear down. Start the flight recorder. The replay. All good. All in profile. Happy days. Flight recorder on. I'll change it to the daytime for the flight recorder. Now I'm going to do this manually again. And I'm going to start earlier rather than later. So I'm going to switch the autopilot off. I don't have a button. It won't work for the autopilot disconnect for some reason. I don't know why. I just won't do it. So I'm going to have to do it manually over here. And it's going to bing here. Autopilot off. My aircraft, get my VSAT. Less is more. Less is more. What about the flight director? Zoom in a little bit here. There you go. Very gentle on the stick. I'm using the yoke. What about 800 feet a minute?
1,000.
No. My hand ready for the throttles. Didn't see that. Very small movements on the controls. There's a lot of momentum in this updated model from update 10. It's telling me I'm too high now, but the poppies are good. Okay, let's lower down. That's a little bit out of place, isn't it? Poppies are good. 140 knot speed is good, and we're up profile. Don't go half scale, because that's a fail. Do not go half scale, get percent.
500.
Too low.
To the right.
Terrain.
Now that's confusing.
Too low.
You see?
Terrain.
Poppies were good.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
100 above.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Why is it giving out about the terrain?
Minimum.
I don't
Too
have
low.
flaps.
Terrain.
Too late for flaps now. I don't have full flaps, that's why.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
There we go.
We are down.
Rudders.
That
Worse.
was close.
Don't touch those rudders. Reverse off. And come off the high speed. Ah, it does that. It stops on me. I think that's the auto brake. I thought it just disabled. I think it's the auto brake anyway. Yeah, I didn't have full flaps there. That's why it's giving out about too low terrain. Pretty sure that's why. We're gonna come up here. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna come up here. We're gonna get out of the way. We're gonna clean everything up. Flaps up. We're gonna clean everything up, and we're gonna get taxi to the gate. And this is another mystery for me. Getting to the gate. So you really If I was going to VATS in this now, I wouldn't be going to this airport. This is quite a big airport. Let's come to a gentle halt here. Park and brake on. Get the checklist out. So a few mistakes today because of the new checklist. Maybe I'll revert back to my old one and get good at that first, because I was, you know. After landing, landing lights off. Let's not blind everybody. Nose wheel lights up, off. Oh, taxi. What am I doing? Nose wheel to taxi. Flaps are up. Yes, they are. Let's see the brake temperatures there. Where's the brake temperatures? There is brake temperatures here somewhere, and I'd like to see those. I remember looking at those before. Where are the brake temperatures? Fuel, hydraulics, wheel. Is that it? Okay, well I didn't put on too much braking down in that case. Okay, great. Weather radar off. Let's not burn people on faces off in the ground. Put that off there, and protected wind shear off as well. Protected wind shear's off. TCAS off, at least onto standby. Off. The transponder off. Terrain is off. That's up there. APU, let's start it up just for shits and giggles. APU master on. And start the APU. Wing anti-ice off. It is. Engine anti-ice is already off. APU bleed on if available. We've got to wait though. Now I know while they're taxiing here, they'll be doing this as they go, but I'm only one person. So APU bleed. Can you put it on too early, you know? Where are you? There you are. APU bleed is on. Rolling onto stand, runway turn lights off, nose wheel off. Okay, let's taxi. Let's get some taxi instructions here. We are at... now, you'd have a map of some sort. Let's get Navigraph out here, and let's see if I can find my way to the parking, because this is the most difficult part, to be honest with you. Parking stands. No, I need my current position. There we go. It looks like... Depends where he brings us. Probably over this side. So you'd probably say something like Foxtrot, November, and then maybe for Mike or something. Let's have a look and see what they say. I'm going to get my pen ready to take this down. This is the hardest part. It really is. And it's a mystery. Now, I know Flight Sim doesn't work quite well, but let's try it. Let's turn to ground. Taxi to gates, please. Grip Sim taxi to gate. Gate 16 using taxiway Foxtrot, November, Liba 2, and Mike. Okay, acknowledge clearance. Taxi to gate 16 via Foxtrot, November, Charlie 2, and Mike. Lima 2. Jesus. Lima 2. Good. Okay, where are we now though? We want to go to Foxtrot. That's Foxtrot, but which way? That's Foxtrot up there as well, isn't it? Let's put our baby legs on, our baby wheels on for shits and giggles and see what we get. Park and brake off, and let's taxi to the gate. Then when we taxi to the gate, I'm not going to turn off the engines because it messes up the replay. I'm going to have a look at the replay. Yeah, thank you, Crispy Chips, and I realise that because I've done that ages ago before. It's an old mistake I've made, you know, and I'm not following the checklist correctly. So how do I know this is Foxtrot here? You know, how do you know? You know, I can't see anything. I know that said Foxtrot, but it could have been down there, all for all I know. That's Sierra, okay. So it's a tricky one. Let's get on that yellow line. So Foxtrot all the way to the end. So I'm having a look at the map here. So all the way down here, and after Foxtrot it's November. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. It does make sense. There's one of our boys there. Oh no, it's not. It's AI traffic. November, Lima 2. Oh yes, right to the end. And then Mike here. So I'm going here. Okay, I have it. There you go. Lighting here is very good in Stuttgart. I like those lights, folks. Not all the airports are done with that lighting. just looks very realistic. That's got to be one of our peeps there, and I just can't get the tags. I'll do it before the end there. Let's have a look at the comments on YouTube. I think I lost a tooth. Oh, what happened to you, Clappy D? Mad Productions, gotta go meet a client for work. Oh yeah, I said that already. Okay, Mad Productions, good stuff. So everyone's preparing for sleep time now. Get on that yellow brick road, Grippers in. So let me see if I'm gonna see Mike. Oh, thank you very much, by the way. That was Dodd Darren has followed. Dodd Darren, welcome. Actually, we didn't have any followers this stream. 3 hours ago, Brian subscribed. Big House Flying became a member 6 hours ago. So don't forget to hit that like button, folks, before we look at the replay. And also, to support the channel, you know, why not become a member in YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch? You don't get any ads, which is great. There's an Aer Lingus livery, which is great, you know. No ads. You also get emojis and stuff like that. Bits and pieces, I can tell you. Lima 2 and on to Mike. There we go, it's on the ground there. That's great. Okay, so that was much more. I know I have the baby wheels. From here I don't know where to go. 16. There's someone already there. Someone already there, so I'll go next to him. How about that? I'll go next to him. Oops. I'll go to, what's that, 15A or something? I love the lighting. Coming in. Very nice. Park it up here, we'll get the gate. Happy days. Gently. Let's slowly apply the brakes. Park the brake on. I'm not going to switch the engines off just yet. Let's just get the bridge connected. Ground services. Or the jetway, should I say. Here he comes. Right, no, it's actually damaged the wing there. So we have a broken airplane, folks. Yep. Yeah. The park nose in too much? I don't think so. Maybe I did. Anyway, there's no guy marshalling us at all, which is a disgrace. What happens if you hit the Y button now and just let's put it there. And the gauge attached. No, it's not going to reach. It does that sometimes. Let's try to throttle the gauge again here. Let's see if it matches up. No, it's going to kill us. Let's not worry about that. Let's have a look at the replay. Now, what I'm going to do with the replay is I'm going to have a look at the replay in daylight. Okay, and I'm going to see the replay. So stop recording. Replay. Pause replay. I'm just going to go forward a little bit. Now, it's not going to display everything, but we'll see the landing. So let's hold that there. Let's get daylight, because otherwise you're not going to see a thing. So I'm going to get daylight here with the weather. And let's see how that landing went. I had a bad landing earlier on today, and it was very peculiar. Let's resume that replay and get the camera back in action. Yeah, I put in a tiny bit of rudder when I was rolling after the landing, and it just slipped all over the place. So, you know, I don't know why. I did look it up, and they said, yeah, the rudder's too sensitive, blah, 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 blah. So, fine. But this time, what I did was, don't land sideways at all. I was thinking, just keep it still on the center line as best you can. That way, I don't have to touch the rudders, or at least very minimum, and apply forward pressure on the nose wheel. So now I had the Pappy steered. It was giving out to me too low terrain because I had the flaps. I didn't have all the flaps down like I said I would. in the computer. So, but that's fine. I know what that is, and that's okay. That's easily fixed. There we go. Easy. Let's see if there's a nice touchdown. I didn't see what landing rate gave us. Now, let's declutter a little bit here. Let's have a look at the side for the first one. That's okay. A little bit off the centre line, but I'm not going to crib about that. Let me put in the reverse thrust. It's okay. It's alright. Let's have a look at this angle. Yeah, a little bit late down the touchdown markers, though, I will say that much. That was good enough. 370 feet, you reckon? I don't think that landing rate is actually exact. Let's have a look actually at a first person perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera over here. I'm going to put it onto lock view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in first. Put in lock view first. Take off follow mode, drone lock view, and zoom in a little bit. Not too much. Right there will do. Let's resume the. Let's rewind a little bit. And there we go. Resume replay. So it doesn't seem to be consistent with the landing rate. And the camera is not the best there. 336 feet per minute, that one. There you go, folks. Darren, thank you very much. Darren, and what Darren said there was, let's cut and copy his comment and put it into, let's just get the camera to follow mode here and reset the camera. Actually, I don't need to do any of that. All I need to do is reset cam. Taxi us back to the gates. Do Darren. Let's have a look here and let's get Google Translate up here. While we keep that window open for that thing we're talking about, the sim brief. Late. Boom. He said, you know when you run horses, it's always good taste. An interesting, very nice. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Redeemed to highlight my message. 100 somethings. I don't know what that is. 100 somethings. Room toga. Okay, are all given out to me. So that was okay. It wasn't too bad. The new checklist is messing me up a tiny little bit, I think. But look, folks, let's see who is with us there, as I said I would. Let's tag up here and see who is with us, because some of you can fly by. Remember now, we stream every day, almost every day. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. First stream at 11 o'clock Irish time in the morning, and then the second stream is 5 o'clock in the evening Irish time for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday 2100 hours in the evening Irish time. So we had Redcap with us. We had TH. Were you with us? TH? And I can't see the other tags. I can see lots of people flying around, but it only seems to put the tags out far away. So I presume you just landed and you headed off. So folks, yeah, you need to go to bed now, I suppose, and get a night's sleep. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want me to explain everything from start to finish every time, I probably, I will sometimes, I won't others. I did put it in the description there, so thank you very much, everybody. Lonely Ripper says I was there, but I had to jump off after landing. No worries at all. And thank you, everybody, and we hope to see you very, very soon. I certainly won't be going anywhere, and I'd like to thank you all very much, and I will see you hopefully during the week. Thank you from me and Producer Buttons.